Hello, beautiful. My name is Jessica Angelari, and today we are speaking about how to attract a man who is truly standing strong in his masculine energy and what it is that a man truly loves. And it all comes down with you being in your feminine energy. That is really what makes a woman truly magnetic. And if you know me and my work, I love speaking about the feminine and embodiment, sensuality, all of these juicy elements that do make up a woman's wholeness. And one of the things that I do love to speak about is a conscious relationship. I have been in my relationship for over 7 years now, and I just love observing and getting curious about what it is that truly holds our relationship together. So when I speak about you being in your feminine energy to attract this beautiful man, this is not about you doing these things to manipulate him. Instead, this is you being in your essence of your natural magnetism that draws in a conscious masculine. It's all about you. It all starts with you. It starts with you being so connected deeply with your heart, with your body, with your desires. So often we are chasing and desiring to be in a relationship without first anchoring into the body, which actually holds all of your wisdom. And so when we do this, we start to hear what it is exactly what that we love. She will tell you where you feel safe and where you feel at peace. So we have to return to the body to connect with her, to listen to her. And from this space is where we make all of our decisions. And the thing we also have to understand is that this feminine energy and masculine energy, they walk hand in hand. Not one is better than the other. They both have something unique and beautiful to offer one another. And so when we're in this beautiful dance with the masculine and feminine within ourselves, that's when we start to naturally attract and magnetize the man in his masculine. And this has nothing to do with you being anything to get his attention or manipulating to attract. We are done with the old ways and all the different steps, right, to attract a man. Instead, this is about you aligning to your truth and knowing what that means for you and aligning to this essence of love. When you are so secure within yourself, this is when you start to attract the frequency that matches your heart. And this is the truth that we must continue to return to. And so it begins with forgetting about all the shoulds of how to be a woman, how to manifest, and anchoring into your own sacred truth. But there are some tips or some beautiful ways that you can start thinking about and start anchoring into to really attract the love that is aligned with your soul. Let's get into it. Now, the first one is to take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Prioritize the things that make you feel good. Men are attracted to the woman who nourishes herself. And not in just the way that you look and putting on makeup. It's in the way that you love to really nourish yourself and know yourself and make space to know yourself. This is about you taking care of you. So how do you take care of yourself when you are menstruating? How do you take care of your boundaries? How do you take care of your mind? How do you honor your sexuality? How are you embodied? So what daily things do you do to take care of not only yourself, but also your emotions and your home, so your environment? So this is about how you treat yourself that is no different to the way that you desire for him to take care of you. If you show you up for yourself and you know your worth, you know your boundaries, you know your standards, and you continuously love on yourself and you respect yourself, then it's from this space that you communicate to him with your energy that this is how I expect to be treated as well. And he will sense this. And this is as well when you start to filter out people who are not ready to align to this sort of standard, right, in a woman. So this conscious man that you attract will want to treat you as the goddess that you are and that you choose to embody every single day. Now, there are also two ways that you can approach this action, knowing where this action is coming from. So, in what energy are you embodying this beautiful queen goddess self that makes the difference? Are you choosing to take care of yourself and return to your power because you love your body? You love how that makes you feel. You respect yourself. You desire to feel replenished. You desire to feel safe, to be seen, and to be in all of your emotions. This is a very magnetic trait and it's very appealing to him. Now, if you're doing this from the space of fear, that if I don't do this, if I don't look after myself, then I won't be seen as lovable, I won't be accepted, I won't have men loving on me. And well, this is exactly how we attract a different type of energy. We attract a different effect. And we start to attract a man who continues to energize that lack piece that exists within you still, that you might not have dealt with yet. So until you realize your true beauty and your bliss and magnetism happens when you are deeply rested and softened in your beautiful body, in your love, in your voice, when you take care of yourself because you love yourself, then that is the type of situation or circumstance or man that you start to draw into your life. Now, this also doesn't mean that we have to attract a man who is perfect and he's so secure in himself, but we get to attract a man who is willing to show up for his heart and therefore yours, because he has a capacity to serve your heart. The energy of the feminine is an energy of being, and this happens when you are in love and in deep appreciation and acknowledgement and in deep nourishment of yourself, and not for anyone else, but for you. This is incredibly attractive when you do this. Now, the second quality that a man is really drawn to is when a woman knows pleasure, when she knows how to enjoy life, when she knows how to be in this sense of aliveness in her body. That is what the feminine is also about. It's about life, connecting with life through your pleasure, through your love. And then in this way, life begins to love you back. And it happens in every moment. So the more that you connect with this pleasure, the more you are connected with your own sensual expression. Your sensuality is how you know yourself, how you are deeply connected with yourself. It's how you know your sensations. It's how you are grounded with your emotions, to be with your emotions. It's how you start to deeply connect with life. And so pleasure is how you start to live from this aliveness. And this is what makes a woman radiate. She's rooted in her own deliciousness, in her own sensual aliveness, what really turns her on in this world. And it can be in the most simplest ways. Pleasure can be found in the moment by moment feeling that emerges when you are safe and loving this connection with life itself. It's through this deep connection to this type of pleasure that we're able to become embodied. We're able to tap into our whole self. The world and men are requiring more of women in their softness, in this beauty, in this softening of the heart. And it happens only when you become present. When we are embodied and we're connecting with life through our senses, we're fully tapped in, we are able then to connect with him. We are fully present with him, and we trust to give ourselves, we trust ourselves to be held by his embrace. This is also a very attractive quality. When you do this, you energize him. You open his heart, you connect with his heart. This is so magnetic because you're trusting to be fully held by him, and you offer all of your juiciness that a woman really is, her expression in all of her aliveness. When a man is around your vibrant, feminine, healthy expression, it gives him life. It activates him. It gives him vitality. It only happens though when we are tapped in, when we are in our full, embodied, lived experience, enjoying life through our own pleasures. But most women have felt that they've had to harden themselves to this. And this is just because of the world that we live in that makes us move from this place of survival. And so we've blocked our hearts, and this has really blocked our playful, erotic expression. And it really just sucks the joy out of us. It sucks the radiance out of us. And then this has made us really forget how to soften, how to be fully breathing and living and enjoying your own breath, your own body, your own touch, your own pleasures. And so when we have blocked this great, pleasurable act of enjoying ourselves, we then don't know how to give that to another. So we need your playfulness. We need you tapped into your safety. We need you to be tapped into your sensual expression in a way that is mature and present and grounded. This is so attractive. Now, the next quality of a magnetic woman is she doesn't force. And this can be difficult when we are trying to control our situations. It makes us feel safer when we know that we have everything under control, right? But that said, a woman in her magnetic nature doesn't force a relationship to happen. She doesn't need to hold on and grip on, because this energy is exactly what causes us to block our life force energy, which is the energy, this aliveness that is what draws in a beautiful, conscious man. So despite what we have been told, when we are chasing and we are pushing for the relationship to happen or for the date to happen, this will only draw a man further away. He will only rest back. And so the magnetic woman doesn't force things to happen. Now, this also doesn't mean that we just take a step back and we don't show up with our love. We show up. We have to show that we are interested. We also need to stop playing the games. If you feel in your heart that this feels at peace, this feels good, then why would you hold back in this? Let him lead you and know that you are leading him through your intention, through your choice. You're making the choice here. But stop making excuses as to why he's not showing up for you. Let him take the lead. But you take the lead in the way that you guide him, in the way that you desire to feel in the relationship. The feminine is about feeling, remember? So let her move you in this. So we need to step into our magnetism, which means we need to know our worth, and we don't need to be pushing for something to happen in the relationship. We also don't need to come into this space of hardness to prove that we are independent and tough. When you are in your feminine energy, this is all about surrendering, but at the same time, showing up for your heart, listening to your heart. What do I need right now? Is this serving my heart right now? Am I at peace right now? And then with that, you don't need to force things. And you also trust at the same time. We need to remember that men who are more grounded in their masculine energy will desire to pursue and provide. This means that he will want to lead with his heart, and we also need to trust him that he's going to pursue. If he's not rested in his heart and instead leading from his ego, you will feel it. You will know it. So follow this, listen to this. But you also can't be pushing men to to want to be with you. You did not come here to prove yourself to him. You did not come here to try and fix him either. In order for him to lean forward and lead, he needs to come forward from his own heart, his own desire to be drawn to you. And so he will pursue when he's given the opportunity to do this, if it is meant to be. So you have to provide him space to do his thing. When we are stepped into our mature woman, you are not afraid to share your heart. You are not afraid to show that you're interested either. This is not a weakness. This is beautiful. Tell him, use your voice, show him. But it also means that you take a step back and allow him to do his thing. This does not mean that you are weak either. It just means that you are strong enough to take a step back and observe. Because the thing is, it is not your job to convince him or to prove to him of what a great woman you are. You are a woman who is enough. So why would you need to prove that to anyone, including a man? So no more of that. If he is not willing to show up and do his thing, then do you really want a man that's going to keep you second guessing yourself or keeping you in this game of chase and making you feel unsafe and activated in your survival mode? Do you really want a man who's going to keep you in this loop of ups and down and you don't know what's happening? A man in his secure masculine core will want to pursue you, and they will feel energized by wanting to show up for you. And a woman so secure in her worth has nothing to prove to this man. And you also don't need to force things to happen. This is so attractive to him. Just remember that. Now, the fourth attractive quality to a man is a woman who knows her worth. I've already said this, but I feel like this is so important to mention again. A man loves a woman who knows her worth. She knows it in herself, and she isn't afraid to be soft at the same time in this knowing, in this power. She isn't afraid to be vulnerable. This is the woman who isn't afraid to follow her intuition. She isn't afraid to know what she wants. She isn't afraid to question all the rules, and instead she chooses what feels good for her. This woman is confident in her own skin. She knows her truth and she respects herself. This is so attractive to a mature man. And at the same time, she knows how to take a step back and trust. She trusts what is meant for her will come. This is a beautiful, powerful quality. To know that we don't have to chase and force things to happen. You just attract with your being by being present and connecting with your body, showing up every single day to your feminine, connected to who you are. So yes, we have to get real about ourselves, and that means getting real about our fears and where we are playing small, where we're holding back in order to be accepted, in order to be loved. You are whole and complete with and without a man. Really take that in. Have you ever heard of a woman say that he just showed up when I least expected it? Yes, that happens when your energy shifts, when you focus your attention elsewhere, when you shift your attention inward into your internal world, dropping down into your womb to listen to the wisdom that is there is so important, because when you're connected, you start to open yourself up more to receive. You stop fighting, you stop trying to work everything out, and instead, you just stay connected with your internal world and how you're showing up as well in the world as the woman that comes from a place of love and compassion and empathy and respect. The next quality that makes a woman so magnetic to a man is being able to invoke his warrior heart. Now, in a relationship, we desire to feel adored, we desire to feel loved and seen. And that usually happens when we are protected, when our emotions feel safe, when we feel safe around him, because we know that we're not going to be judged for our emotions, for our expressions. For men, it's different. They feel energized and seen and adored when they are here to show up for you in this world, when they're here to help you, when they are protecting you. This feels really good for him. It energizes him, and he feels on purpose, especially in your life, because he knows he can provide that happiness in your life. This forward protective energy is a beautiful masculine trait. But so many women feel like they have to be independent all the time, hyper independent, and that they have to prove themselves and their ability to a man. And therefore, it's seen as weak if we accept a man's help, or it's seen as weak if we're vulnerable. But there is nothing more beautiful and attractive when a woman is so rested and anchored in her delightful, sensual, feminine energy, trusting him. If we're trying to constantly prove ourselves, he has no space to provide for you or to give his heart to you. He feels he's not able to give value to you or to provide for you. We need to value the men in our lives. And that happens when we value the masculine within us. All those small things we have to value: his successes, his desire to help and to do things for you. Even when he opens the door for you, just gratitude goes such a long way. Be grateful for everything that he does for you. That is how you receive him. Let him really feel your presence of love and blessings. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing my man show up for me. And then when I tell him how grateful I am and thank you so much for doing these beautiful things for us, I feel his heart shining and radiating. I see his confidence rise. This is such a magic of our attraction. Now, this also doesn't mean that you just give up and make him do everything and you don't do anything. It has nothing to do with that, because again, it depends on what is your energy here. You both show up in different ways. Of course, you can show up and you're helping and you're doing things and you're providing. But when he is showing up for you and desiring to provide for you and give you things and give you love, and he's trying his hardest to be there for you, acknowledge it. Really accept it. I can assure you it goes such a long way, and the man in your life will be forever grateful, because your love is what energizes his love. And the last point that I wanted to mention, which just ties everything together, is go and be your fabulous self. There is nothing more magnetic than just you honoring and embodying, just really being the fabulous woman that you were born to be. I am speaking about this woman who is so sure of herself. She knows her boundaries. She's not afraid to look at her fears and the anger, because she can use them as gifts in her life. When this woman trusts her intuition and she knows the art and the dance of surrendering, and when to surrender and when to give, when to soften, when to be aggressive, when she's present and she's observing and she knows when to let him take the lead, all of these beautiful qualities, there is nothing more attractive than this. And this doesn't mean you don't respect yourself, as I mentioned, or you don't respect what you want. It's actually the opposite. When you allow him to come through into your heart and not shut him off, and you receive him freely, and you allow him to look after you, not because you need it, not because you're not able to look after yourself, but this is such an attractive quality because it also means that you know who you are and nothing is going to shake you. Nothing from the external is meaning anything about your worth. You know yourself, you know your standards, you speak from the space of truth. And then if he is not showing up for that, then you don't go into the place of neediness or demanding. You just know in yourself what you need, what you desire. And then that's where you make the choice to stick with this relationship or not. But you have to listen. You have to get still. You have to invite in that spaciousness to get real about how your heart desires to feel. You have to know what makes you feel safe. You have to trust that knowing, and don't ignore those little signs that make you go back into those states of survival or fight or flight. Trust your heart knows, and don't chase for another feeling other than that state of peace and safety within yourself. At the end of the day, I can tell you all of these tips and all these different qualities that make up a magnetic woman, but the main key to attraction is just you being in the embodiment of your fabulous self and living true to that. You being you is how you attract the man you desire. You being you is how you attract your clients. You being you is how you attract the life that truly fits into your heart. Now, if this talk really resonated with you and you desire to dive deeper into what it means to be fully tapped in and embodied and connected with your pleasures and your sensuality, then I invite you to join my 10-week group immersion, Feminine Remembrance to Come Home to Yourself. This is going to be the most beautiful journey you will ever take towards your heart, towards your soul, towards the wisdom of your womb, and the sacred yes of your beautiful yoni, in order to attract and magnetize what is truly meant for you. I invite you to join. I'll drop the link below. And if you are desiring to jump into more of this, I'm hosting a free 4-day series, Magnetic Woman, Awaken to the Gifts of Your Feminine. I invite you to that. I will also drop the links below for that. And if you loved this beautiful episode today, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much, gorgeous, for being here. Remember, you are a beautiful, radiant woman, and I don't want you to forget that. My name is Jessica Angelari. Thank you so much. Mwah. Bye.